YouTube, what is up? Welcome to the video. We're gonna do a full day eating and training. Starting the day off about 6 a.m. You know what time it is, it's breakfast time. And look at this beauty we whipped up. It's the same as any other day, and I get just excited to eat it every single day. This might be one of the best things on earth. You go the eggs right there, you put it on the sourdough bread with some Kerrygold butter. That is a winner right there. 5 eggs. I love eggs. Eat your eggs. They're so good. Anyways, also get some electrolytes. Always throw some electrolytes and some water. Start off the day. Got the lemon lime flavor, which is delicious. And then had a multivitamin and then some creatine. I just dry scoop it in the morning just to make sure I get it in. But this is breakfast. Eat this down. Chill for a little bit. We got chest and back today. We got some running intervals. We have some fun stuff, so it'll be a good one. But this combo right here is so freaking lethal. This is what gets me out of bed every morning. All right, getting into the chest and back session. So start off dynamic warm-up, some external rotations, W press, pull aparts 2 times through. And then my goal here was to work up to a heavy triple on bench. So 335 sounded good for the day, worked up to that, got happy with that triple. Moved pretty good, moved good, was definitely a heavy triple on the day. And then I ended up going down and then doing a 5x5 after. So kind of my game plan right now is kind of do a heavy 1 to 3 for the day, work up to that, and then do some back off sets after that. So end up doing the 5x5 at 305. I wanted to get some quality reps. I've been probably going a little too heavy and I've been bouncing it too much. So trying to be a little more controlled and get 25 quality reps there. So that's kind of my thought process behind it. These next couple weeks, I've been playing around with it, doing like a heavy single. Kind of, I need to get better at like those singles, doubles, triples, because I've been struggling with those. But it's because I always used to do them at the end. I would like build up and I would slowly build up throughout the sets and do higher rep sets and then build down. So now doing the heavier sets first and then those back offs after, I really enjoy. Been doing that for my bench and squats and some other compounds. So playing around with that, what I did and what I think I'll do the next couple weeks, like a heavy triple and then maybe a heavy double, then maybe a heavy single, and then like a 5x5, sets of 4, 3 after it, just getting some extra volume in. So end up doing that 5x5 after at 305, moved pretty well, and then got into my pin lay rows. So I used to always do pin lay rows, went away from them the last couple months. I've been doing a barbell bent over row, and glad I'm going back to them. I mean, pin lay rows, they're kind of almost a full body exercise. They're a good deadlift accessory. But they will smoke your hamstrings as well. So when you're pairing them, make sure if you're doing it after a lower body day, I wouldn't do it after like a heavy deadlift and RDL day. Do it after maybe a heavy squat day where your hamstrings posterior chain aren't as taxed. But pin lay rows, like I use a little momentum. Some people define pin lay rows as like keeping your torso or chest right over the bar and you're pulling right to the chest. Maybe these are just barbell rows from the ground. I don't know. This is just the way I've always done pin lay rows, where you're kind of pulling towards that belly button and you're coming up a little bit with it. Again, heavy rows, I'm fine using a little momentum. You got to use a little momentum to grow and get strong. So how I structure the upper and especially the chest back day, I'll do a main chest movement. So that was my bench press, and then a main back movement, which was my pin lay row. And those will be kind of my main strength focus. And then I'll get into the antagonist superset. So for the superset, the first one I did dumbbell incline press and paired that with a T-bar row here. So this T-bar row, perfect setup because probably can't tell from the video, but I'm hovering right above the ground, so I'm not pulling from the ground, so there's constant tension throughout, which is perfect throughout. Really enjoy that. So I love the incline press. With that, what I did that day, 4 sets, 10, 8, 6, 10. So going down in reps, up in weight with each set, and then on that last set you return to 10 and you go back to the weight you used, and essentially it's an AMRAP. So it's 10 plus or 10. I end up only getting 10 because I was pretty smoked with the same weight, so which is good to see. But you could also drop it a little bit. You go 10 plus and maybe you work in that 10 to 15 range. Maybe you do the same way and you end up getting more reps, or heck, maybe even get less reps because you're fried. But it's a good method to use. It's called a tailed pyramid. So it's a descended pyramid. We're going down to reps, and then that tailed, you get some extra volume at the end, which can be good for hypertrophy. You can really blow it up on your last set. And then the last superset, I did this chest fly, which I've been changing the angle around. I was going high to low. Now I'm kind of going more of a mid chest fly, and I definitely feel it a lot more.
and I paired that with a lat pull down. What I did here, though, was a rest pause method each set. Kind of aggressive, but fun. So essentially, I went to a failure, which I think I got between like 11 and 12 reps with each set, rested 20 seconds, and then did 3 more reps. So kind of little rest pause method's obviously super great because you get those extra reps beyond failure with that little rest in between, that intra rest. Can be advantageous. I did just 3 reps. I just picked a set number. So I think each set I got like 12, 11, 11, and then 3 extra reps. So did that method, and I did it for both that and the lat pull down, and I did it with all 3 sets. So most of the time when I do rest pause, I'll just save it for the last set, but I've been playing around with doing it for like multiple sets, especially on like an isolation movement. Again, they're very taxing, so kind of use them sparingly, but they are super fun to do. Get a little extra volume in. Can be the intensity booster you needed. So did that on the lat pull down here too. I love this neutral grip with the, I think it's called the mag grip, where you got your thumbs wrapped around it. Can really pull down. I saw a good cue recently from like a coach. It was like, think about pulling your elbows towards your pockets. And I've been thinking about that, and it's a great cue. Feel a lot more in my lats. So same thing here, did that rest pause there. So main part of the lift, main bench, I did a heavy triple followed by a 5x5 at like 10% lighter, and then I did 8, 6, 6, 5, 5 of pin lay rows, and then I did a dumbbell bench with a T-bar rows, a superset 10, 8, 6, 10, that tailed pyramid, and then finished with chest flies, lat pull downs with a rest pause each thing, essentially going 10 to 12 or failure, and then 20-second rest and 3 extra reps. And then I finished the session playing around with this. Like usually I finish a chest back session. I've been doing some more trap work, so Zercher shrugs, I've been doing these a lot. You just put it in a Zercher position, shrug up. Any shrug variation, great. Hit your traps. These are going to hit more of your mid trap just because the way it's positioned. Super fun to do, just different variation than the regular trap. Both good to do, but finish this session up with that. All right, meal number 2, we were at Kava. Nice little bowl here. So rice, double steak, a ton of vegetables, and then I think I got the balsamic date vinaigrette. Kava is so flavorful. That's one thing, like I love the food I make, but I lack flavor, and flavor is freaking key here. So it's probably like 800 to 900 calories, good amount of protein, but it's like 2 o'clock, second meal a day, so I'm kind of behind, but run a little bit later. Starting to get sunny out, so it should be a nice one.
I'm actually here at my parents' house visiting them, and this is the gym that I used to train in. My favorite gym all time, the garage gym right here. So wasn't much. All it was, some horse stole mats, this bench. I think we got from like Target when I was like 15. Probably wasn't supposed to handle the weight I was doing on it. This barbell got from Walmart for about $80. You see how rusted it obviously is because it sits out in the garage, but I loved it. It was honestly, up until I went to a newer gym, it was like my favorite barbell ever. It was literally just a standard 45-pound barbell. But I got that, and then had the metal plates. I actually had a bunch of bumper plates. I used to have like 200 pounds worth of bumper plates, but I ended up selling them recently. But this was the rack I had. I had this makeshift pull-up bar I made, so I took an old barbell and I used these bands to kind of pull it up there so I could do pull-ups up there because I had nothing else to do. And then over here, had some dumbbells. These dumbbells were kind of adjustable, so these aren't welded on. These kind of spin on and off. Don't know if they were supposed to handle more than 50 pounds, but I would get up to like 130s on those. So yeah, it's funny. So yeah, this gym, so this rack we've actually had in my house. I think we got it in like 2005 or 2006, probably around there. So when I was like 6 or 7 years old. And for the longest time, I was actually in the upstairs of my house. And when I got into college, like my freshman year, that summer, I moved the rack down here into a garage gym because it was upstairs and I couldn't really clean up there because obviously can't really drop weight. Don't want to go through the floor. So brought it down here, and then throughout college, and then like the year and a half after I lived here, this is where I trained. So yeah, kind of showing it. I love seeing it because really you don't need much to train. Like, and that's why free weights are such a huge part of my training. Like, I use machines here and there now because I have the luxury of using them, but 99% of what I would do was just with a barbell and some dumbbells. And that's why I just preach the basics. Get strong as heck in the compound movements. You can do it anywhere. You don't need a fit. Like, this rack probably wasn't supposed to handle the weights
I was doing. But also these racks, like they say a max weight on it, and they can handle way more. Now, don't do that if it's supposed to go passive, but usually can handle a lot more than they say. So yeah, it's gotten a little rusted now. As I sat in the garage, I would have the garage door open in the summers, and in the wintertime I'd close it. So it was almost like it was two different gyms. Summertime, it was like this open gym, would be hot as heck in here, super humid. I almost dread going out there knowing how much I was gonna sweat. And then the wintertime, I would have like the garage door down closed, and I would be in like that winter arc. So it was almost like two different times of the year training here. But yeah, it's just fun seeing it. Seeing the weights still here. Horse stole mats. I cracked some of the concrete below this. Actually, it's covered up. So yeah, a couple wounds in here, but yeah, this was my home gym, and I freaking loved it for the longest time. It's funny just to visit it, but yeah, you don't need much. You just freaking get after it. Barbells, some dumbbells, get strong, do the basics, do it day in and day out, continue to do it, and that's the way I like to train. So yeah, it's cool to see this, but yeah, we'll get into the run next. All right, out here about to run some tempo runs. Today's session, kind of what I've been sticking through the last couple weeks, doing this twice a week, kind of just maintain volume, but 3x10, 100-meter tempo runs, starting 1 rep every minute, and then a 3-minute recovery after each set. So 30 total 100s. Goal is to run them around 17 seconds. So good thing about tempo runs and kind of what my speed in running right now is what I'm doing. So Monday I'll do my speed work, Tuesday I'll do tempo runs, Wednesday I'll do some like aerobic conditioning where I'll do like assault bike, stuff like that, just kind of steady state. Thursday I'll do speed again, and then Friday do tempo run. So kind of that speed then tempo run session, essentially that high-low model. So if you're interested in it, Charlie Francis, track coach, but kind of like a very popular model in strength and conditioning, especially for field-based athletes or kind of any athletes. To kind of, it's one way to get your speed and conditioning without infringing on one another. So your speed work, your high intensity work, and then kind of your tempo run day, the day after this high-low model. So you're doing very neurologically demanding stuff with your sprinting, and you kind of lower stuff with your tempo runs. So the big thing about tempo runs, you're running them at speeds. Obviously on a sprint, it's like 65 to 75% of a sprint speed, like 70% generally, almost like a stride. But the good thing about these is you're able to accumulate a lot of volume, get some good volume in, but it's not too fatiguing where it's gonna mess you up the next day. So kind of what you want to avoid is that middle ground, which is that lactate. So lactate is just when your muscles, if you ever felt that feeling where your muscles get full, fill up with all that blood, that's the lactate. That's kind of what you want to avoid, because that lactate training is kind of, it's too demanding to recover from within 24 hours, and it's also too slow to be considered speed work. So kind of with the speed and tempos, you're getting the best of both worlds. The speed work, you're getting that very maximal, highly demanding speed work, and then the tempo runs, it's low enough of a demand that it's not gonna require more than 24 hours to recover from. So you have this high-low model. So these tempo runs, like 17 seconds, nothing crazy, but they definitely catch up, you know. Just because it's easy doesn't mean it's super easy to do. But get some good volume here. And again, another thing with the volume, kind of build up the volumes too, because you can obviously do an excessive amount of volume and maybe it does start to infringe, but that's the way I like to train. I've always loved, you know, training for rugby, doing this, kind of building up the volumes as I got closer to a season. And now that I'm just kind of doing it in conjunction with speed work, kind of 3x10 usually is my upper limit, like 3,000 meters. Because, you know, I've gotten points where I've gotten up to like 3,800, but I feel like I was just too much fatigue. So 3,000, that's kind of my like standard. Again, I think I'm just going to stick with this 2 times a week and then have the speed work be progressed by volume and keep this kind of the same. But been liking this format. Get out there, go to a field run. This one also has a track. Could use a track. I'm just so used to running on grass with cleats on, just from everything, that's kind of what I gravitate towards. But yeah, we'll get into it. So again, 3x10, 100-meter tempo runs, aiming for 17 seconds, but a 3-minute recovery in between. Let's go. All right, just finished that tempo run session. It was so nice. It's only like 70 degrees out. God, the weather makes such a difference. Felt good. Hit them all like 17 and a half seconds, so a little slower, but legs are a little chewed up from yesterday. But so good. Got some tempo volume in. Feel good, and now I can do one of my favorite things ever, and that is take the shoes off and walk barefoot in the grass. I know it's a thing, grounding. I know there's like benefits to it. That's not why I'm doing it. Well, I'm sure it does help, but
it just feels so good to walk around after you condition. Again, one of my favorite feelings in the world. Finish a hard conditioning session, know you're freaking done for the day, and then just walk barefoot. You can't beat it. It's just it's a good part of life, man. But good sessions today, chest and back, lift in the morning, and then runs here. So that's what I've been doing. Monday's been doing my speed work in the morning, and then my lower body lift in the afternoon. Tuesday's my chest and back in the morning, and then tempo runs in the afternoon. Wednesday I'll do shoulders and arms, and then some aerobic conditioning. Thursday I'll go back to that speed and lower body. Friday back to the tempos, chest back. Saturday I do shoulders and arms, but I do some extra lower body power. So it's the way I split it up. It's the way I like it. It's the beauty of training. Make it as individualized to you as possible. Get what you want in. Get strong, get jacked, get conditioned, get explosive, get powerful. You can do it all. Just manipulate it. That's all it is. But it's beautiful out. I'm walking barefoot now. I'll catch up with you at the next meal.
All right, just finished that meal. It was freaking delicious. My dad and my brother are the two best chefs I know. They whip it up, but it was like shrimp, rice, zucchini, and squash. It was actually only like 600 calories. Weighed it all out. Pretty dope because I've only eaten like 2,400 calories today. It's like 7:30, which is never the case. Usually I eat a lot of calories earlier in the day, but I just didn't eat as much today because I was doing some stuff. Kind of sweet. So I got about an hour drive home. So got 2 of these Quest bars, chocolate chip cookie dough, goated. Quest sponsor me, and then 2 apples, Honey Crisp apples. Can eat this on the road. It's like 600 extra calories. Still only puts me under 3,000. Might eat something else, might not. But anyways, been a good day. Good day eating, good day training. Let's get this drive.
All right, wrapping the video up here. Finishing the day off. Just 1 scoop. Transparent Labs mint chocolate chip cookie. It's probably my favorite flavor. Although I have only had like 5 flavors, but I put this number 1, then oatmeal chocolate chip cookie 2, and then chocolate peanut butter 3. I've really only had 5 flavors. But finish the day off with this soup. Just 28 grams protein. Puts me at like 3,100 calories on the day, 240 grams protein. So kind of where I've been at, 32 to 34 a day. A little lower, but some days it's good to have a little lower. And I feel good. I feel pretty full. So wrap this up, hit the sheets, go to sleep. But I appreciate everyone watching the video. If you made it this far, got any questions, comments, please leave them. DM me on Instagram. I love answering stuff. If you're interested in coaching any programs, it'll be all in the link in the description. But let's keep getting Powerjacked, baby. See you in the next one.